Hi everyone. Today in this session we will discuss about the relevance of newspaper in all competitive examination, especially civil service examination. So here in this session I would like to share how to read, scrutinize the newspaper and how to make notes. So let's start. In this session, let us discuss how to scrutinize, read, understand newspaper. We know that newspaper plays an important role in all examination in India, especially civil service examination. Making newspaper reading a habit of life decides whether you crack in this exam or not. From the childhood, we are asked to make newspaper reading a habit of life, but we never knew the importance of it. In this session, we can discuss about newspaper and the relevance of newspaper in prelims, mains and interview in civil service examination. In civil service examination, the first stage of this exam is prelims. In this preliminary examination, there is a general studies paper. In this paper, 50 to 65% of marks holds current affairs. In mains exam, there are 4 general studies papers: paper 1, paper 2, paper 3 and paper 4, including optional paper and essay paper. In all these papers, current affairs holds the main role. In case of personality test, it's a final stage or it's a third stage of this exam. In this test, UPSC test an aspirant's self-perspectives of issues and events which had national or international, regional attention. The next we can discuss about the newspapers. Which is the best newspaper to read for UPSC IAS exam? The best newspaper as recommended here, the Hindu or the Indian Express plus a regional newspaper. If I specifically mention about the Hindu newspaper, the Hindu itself covers a lot of portion of UPSC syllabus and the civil service examination. This newspaper has better coverage of union government policies, programs and the India government's socio-economic, political, environmental, cultural and science and technological coverage. All these news will be discussed in this Hindu newspaper. Then, how to classify the news? We can classify the news into national, international, economic, environmental, science and technology. Here, the national news means the information about India, while the international news means the information about the world. Economic news discuss how the society running in economic background, how the banking sector, the finance sector, industry, commerce, all these factors and all these news discussed in this sector, in this section of the newspaper. And in case of environment, here the environment news discusses the climate and climatic issues, challenges, global warming, all these topics. And the last one is science and technology. Here the development. The news discusses about the development of health sector, science sector and technological part. Here we can discuss about the role of editorial page or opposite editorial page in Hindu. Editorial page in Hindu are big and rich. Do not miss them. They should form a core of your reading practice. When you read, do underline key ideas and circle new terms and words. This page is the soul of the newspaper and is very important in prelims and mains. Reading editorial and op-ed page will improve your comprehension, communication and writing skill. This page will educate you and this page will mold you as a perfect reader and a perfect civil servant. Here we can discuss the 4 questions, the 5 areas of questions which discussed or which already asked UPSC in 2019 prelims question. From the national part, there was a question from Policy and Program, Maternity Benefit Amendment Act 2017. So what's it? The Maternity Benefit Amendment Act 2017 means an amendment to the Maternity Benefit Act 1961. It was passed in the Parliament in 2017. It's a full paid absence from work to protect employment of women. It's a question asked UPSC. From this question, a reader can understand UPSC's question regarding the national news, maybe from the policies or programs related to the women, related to the farmers, related to the child, whatever. The second area is international. There was a question regarding the scientific relevance, that is Denisovan. Here the Denisovan means a human species. A group of archaeologists based on the Washington, they excavated a human species, and this species found in Southeast Pacific region in the world. So this question asked at UPSC. The next area was economic. From the economic part, UPSC asked monetary policy, that means the currency crisis in India. This question related to the demonetization which introduced India in the last year. Then the environmental part, they asked from the section of Clean India project, that was Solid Waste Management Rule 2016. In this Solid Waste Management Rule, the UPSC asked a question because of this term was on news frequently, and this term means that it's a new rule notified by the government of India from Ministry of Environment and Forest. No person should throw, burn or bury the solid waste generated by him, streets or public places. So it's a rule. And the news discussed in this rule, and at the same time UPSC asked the question. And the last one is science and technology. It's a LTE or VOLTE. It's a common term we can see in our Android phone. UPSC asked the scientific aspect of this term. So what do you mean by LTE or VoLTE? It's a voice over long-term evolution, and it's a 4G network. Generally, it's a 4G network used for the fast internet network, and it is provided faster internet as a comparer of 2G, 3G, etc. Usually, these terms are used together as 4G LTE to denote high speed for the services. Here, this term was on news because of in 2018, Reliance Jio launched VoLTE based international roaming between India and Japan. Next, we can discuss about the role of internet whenever you start the preparation for the civil service examination. Internet played an important role when you read a newspaper to update and understand the background which created a social relevance now and then. How can we use internet? You can use internet, especially the search engine Google, Wikipedia and Government of India websites, to update the information you already collected from the newspaper. Next, we can conclude our session with how to read the newspaper. Whenever you start reading the newspaper, you have to keep in your mind that 5 W's and 1 H. What is 5 W and 1 H? This is an important term, or this is an important technique whenever you start preparation from the newspaper. Here 5 W's means who, what, when, where and why. Here 1H means how. You may find this concept is helpful when you reach before the UPSC Civil Service Interview Board. So when you start reading the newspaper, you have to go through 5 W's and 1H. Whenever you start reading an article or a news, you try to answer 6 questions. Who was involved? What happened? When did it happen? Where did it happen? Why did it happen? And how did it happen? This means that 5 W's and 1 H. Thank you for listening to this session. I hope you all will be following these techniques while reading newspaper. In my next session, I will continue my lecture regarding the GS paper 1 on prelims examination. Thank you.